All right, we're back, and I'm so zoned out of existence. All right. All right, welcome back
There
to
we
the
go.
Underage coverage of the Modern 5K in Newark, Ohio. Becky and I are with you for the next few rounds. We apologize for the delays and screw-ups that happened over the last changeover, but we're going to jump into a match right now that's already in progress. And then here we go. So we're down to the table. We got Anderw Elenbogen, Liam, Sabor, and Becky. How are you doing? And welcome to the match. And wow, yeah, the action is already in progress.
Yeah, it's really going. We are counterspelling this grinding station. Absolutely not. I need to be able to stay in this without having that engine be there, says Liam. And we're really off to the races here.
Yeah. Okay. So we are. Looks like we missed about 3 turns of this match. So if you're just joining us, well, you didn't miss anything. We are in right now. And if you've been here, thanks for your patience. Hopefully things are a little more on the up and up on the rest of the day. We got a chase coming into play for Liam. Not a card we see every day. So let's just see if we can reset the board. We got looks like everything's straight. I believe we have 7 rounds today, not 8. So we'll get that checked and see if that's accurate or not on the screen. But Jace brainstorms and well, so it looks like Andrew's missed a land drop.
Yeah, and is going to be stuck with those cards that we put on top, presumably as well, which means that we likely aren't getting out of that anytime soon, which could potentially be a little bit unfortunate for Liam here. And now Andrew just kind of gets to do his thing. Stuck.
Becky Bell.
What?
People with Jace the Mind Sculptor in play are never stuck. They're just not crushing it yet.
Okay. My mistake. I've only been playing Magic in the time that Jace has been not the most powerful planeswalker to ever exist.
Yeah. We need to work on your sense of history here. All right.
I have no respect for Jace the Mind Sculptor.
All right, Andrew does find a land drop here off the Expressive Iteration. See if we can get things going. So this Jeskai Breach deck, obviously we're trying to pressure the opponent with creatures, but barring that, there's of course is the option for a combo win later in the game. And while getting Jace off the board is a good way to start getting towards the later game.
Oh, we found a land. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. Unholy Heat really kind of
a messed up magic card?
Yeah, like Planeswalker used to be able to just, so a history lesson for you since you weren't, really you used to just play Jace the Mind Sculptor and plus once, and then it was basically immune to burn spells.
And
then Unholy Heat just changes the whole game. I mean, that's not fair. Jace is so mighty and powerful, and then 1 mana dead.
Yeah, and then they printed things like Oko.
Yeah, well, that's true. That did happen also. That also didn't contribute to Jace's longevity. All right, Ledger Shredder and Emry into play. So nice turn for Andrew. Connive here and Thassa's Oracle. That's nice. That's the combo win condition. No reason to have it in your hand.
Right, throwing a lot of goodies into the graveyard there, namely a Mox and a Teferi. I can say Mox for Mox Amber. It's the only Mox left in.
Yeah.
I had a moment where I was like, oh, people might get it confused for Pearl, but that has been gone for some time.
Pearl has been gone for a very long time. Yes.
Oh, I'm thinking of Opal.
Yeah, you are.
You're right.
That's okay.
They're both. I'm thinking of just like a small white gemstone. They're the same thing.
Yeah. All right, it's okay. We're just getting things rolling here. Becky and I just starting our shift. But hopefully Ara and Julian treated you all well this morning. As I'm sure they did.
All right, what do we got? What are we combating this with? Prismatic Ending, gonna take out Emry. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Ledger Shredder is a nice card, but Emry actually just straight up
might win the game. Who knows?
Yeah, Ledger Shredder or Emry just straight up cast cards in the graveyard every single turn. You don't want that.
Yeah, if we keep answering all of these other little things, Ledger Shredder potentially has the option to win the game. But ooh, another Emry is gonna kind of undo Liam's last turn. We
Yeah.
do have a Snapcaster Mage in hand, and it looks like 2 copies of Dress Down, maybe?
Okay. Well, lots of triggers here for Andrew. Spilling 4 spells over with Emry. No land flipping over there. But built up a pretty decent board here with Urza Saga ready to activate during Liam's end step, most likely. And yeah, this is looking like a respectable board position. When we first turned on the game, Andrew was missing a land drop and had nothing going on.
Yeah, I think the Jace turn where we weren't able to find a land drop, just like not really what you want to be doing for kind of any control deck. So certainly not really for Liam. And then we just haven't seen, I feel like, maybe the most immediately impactful cards. It also seems like the main board of this deck likely isn't the most prepared for something like this, and I think is really going to kind of come online when we get to sideboard games.
Perhaps. I mean, there certainly is a smattering of removal. Oh, yeah. 2 dress downs in hand. In fact, that's both dress downs in hand, I think, is not ideal against this deck. Snapcaster Mage does a good job of cleaning up all board positions, though. Oh, yeah. This is really Liam bringing back some of the hits here. Snapcaster and Jace. You know, teaching some of these new kids a lesson on how to accrue value and win games.
Very old school. I can appreciate that. I can't really say old school when talking about Magic because there is actually like a format called old school.
Is there really?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, how many times do you just, ramble on down to your, coffee shop or, wherever you like to hang out and people are there just playing old school? Does that ever actually happen?
I don't think I ever go to a coffee shop and people are playing Magic though, so that like not is really an indictment
But
of.
that was not the question that was asked.
Okay.
The question was, how often do you randomly stumble across people playing old school? And the answer is never.
Never.
Yeah.
Really throwing old school players under the bus here.
Okay, so second construct is made here, but if those were in fact a pair of dress downs in Liam's hand, then these can be handled without really any difficulty at all at card advantage.
Yeah, not terrible, and certainly going to be nice to make use of one of those less than ideal cards to have stuck in your hand. So,
So 2
yeah.
Mishra's Baubles sitting on the field for Anderw Elenbogen to
And
increase the size of those constructs, but
the Springleaf Drum, I believe, is also a part of the battlefield and
Mhm.
not the graveyard. Thank you for kind of fixing that, Andrew.
yeah, all right. So here comes an attack. Here comes dress down, and now that these constructs are no longer going to be on the board, the baubles will probably have no reason to be on the board either. So Andrew will probably cash those in for cards.
Now the Springleaf Drum is on the battlefield. Took losing a few creatures to make room for it.
All right, there goes the first one.
Looking at Liam's top of the deck. Okay.
So Liam's deck list, maybe we'll get a chance to look at it between games as we missed the start of the match due to the stream going down. Does include a main deck Cling to Dust, and we saw Andrew did mill over the Thassa's Oracle earlier in the game. So if something like that were to, if Liam's able to find this Cling to Dust and wipe out the Oracle, then the ability for Andrew to win with a combo is actually off the table. And that certainly reduces, I mean, part of the threat density of this Jeskai Breach deck is the ability to combo out of nowhere. And that, if that's put down, then things get, trickier.
I kind of wonder if Cling to Dust is actually what Andrew just saw on top of the deck and was like, is that card what I think it is?
Oh, well, it certainly wouldn't be something he would be happy to see.
Yeah, it would definitely start to make me shake in my boots a little bit. But I don't know. This Ledger Shredder is kind of holding down the fort at the same time. So
There's your Mox.
yeah, I got to start winning this race. Snapcaster Mage has got to get off of the field here.
Yeah, dispatching Snapcasters. Yeah, I guess we're conniving. We're not. Probably, I find it hard to believe that Andrew actually cares about the Snapcaster Mage too much, but it does a way to just a target for a spell. And yep, there is the Cling to Dust. Andrew's like, let me read that again. So let's go ahead and bring that up on the screen if we have it available. Cling to Dust, black instant that is more or less a cantrip. Although in this case, it won't be, as if it exiles a creature, Liam gains 3 life. If it exiles anything else, draws a card. And with escape for 4, and there are plenty of cards in the graveyard.
Andrew just spent time looking at Liam's card in graveyard, and now Liam's like, nah, let me see your graveyard. Now that we've established what Cling to Dust does, I would like to take a look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting one. So there have been times when I drew a card, let's say in similar vein to Cling to Dust in this scenario. I was like, well, you don't want to give away what you have in your hand. So you don't actually want to ask to look through your opponent's graveyard. You're just trying to kind of peer at it from across the table out of the corner of your eye without giving anything away. Yeah, I probably fail at that every single time, but you still try and maintain the illusion.
Yeah, you do your best anyway. I know I definitely am the same way. And then sometimes, like, if I know that I'm playing a deck that is going to be, or like the moment I figure out that my opponent's deck cares about the graveyard, like I'll start asking periodically just to maybe make them a little bit scared. Try to have a little bit of foresight into it and being like, oh, can I see your graveyard, even though I have nothing in my hand.
Well, yeah. What everyone has their little tricks. What I do generally is if I want to examine my opponent's graveyard because of something like Cling to Dust, I look at my own graveyard first, and then I try and play it off as like, oh, I was checking my own graveyard, and as an afterthought, I guess let me look at yours too, because why not?
Because that's just being
Thorough.
methodical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And now you know you're getting all the inside scoop on how Joe and I try to nonchalantly get to look at graveyards.
Yeah, we're giving away all our tricks, man. Giving away all my advantages for DreamHack next month.
I was about to say you don't even have any RCQs to play, but
No, I
yeah, you
know.
do
I'm
have
so sad.
DreamHack.
I keep winning these qualifiers. Well, it's not like I won them on the first try or anything, but
You're kind of close.
well, this season I was, yeah. But I gotta say, I feel pretty good about the fact that I was. I mean, I don't care how many tries it takes. I enjoy playing local events with stakes that mean something to me. But yeah, it does feel good to win another one of those. That was fun.
And a sealed one, no less.
Yeah, yeah. Got to display mastery in all formats, right?
And I know that's something that our players, especially people like Anderw Elenbogen, try to do. Also, kind of a sealed enthusiast as well.
Kind of is probably an understatement. He may be the biggest sealed enthusiast I've ever seen.
I would be inclined to agree. Yeah.
I mean, I remember his from Grand Prix and such pre-coronavirus. He and a friend of his would always offer like, hey, any person, if you want us to rate your sealed building, you bring your pool on over and we'll go through it and tell you what we think and what we would have done, which is kind of nice. Gives him a ton of experience building decks, and also is it's nice. I mean, for people that I mean, certainly plenty of people are going to look up to Anderw Elenbogen, and even the invitation to come interact and get his thoughts. I'm sure a lot of people took him up on that.
All right, we are Underworld breaching for 3 Mishra's Baubles.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, he can go more than that if he wants to. He can burn up the entire graveyard if he likes. However, there is no combo kill available anymore.
And the Underworld Breach goes to graveyard at the end of turn. This is always a fun game of trying to figure out what people's like hand gestures and body language actually means, and trying to like piece together what they'd be saying in the match.
So while the players are digging into the available resources here, a question from the chat about what caused Breach to surge in popularity. It's been going for the last, I don't know, kind of over the course of the year, as I maintain hope that there we go. That the screen will pop back into existence. It's been kind of waiting in the wings, I would say. And then I know back early this year, maybe February or so, there was an article written by NRG player Jessie Robkin illuminating her thoughts on the deck and its powers. And then her success playing the deck on camera a few times probably influenced some people to pick it up. I'm not saying she originated the entire thing by herself, although maybe she did, I don't know. But certainly it started slowly building in popularity, and more people were picking it up. And then Ross Merriman and some other players started having success with it. And so, I mean, anytime high-profile players start playing a deck that seems like it comes out of nowhere, other people are going to pay attention and start picking it up on their own. And so we see Cling to Dust escape and pick up another card out of the graveyard. And then Jesse wrote an updated list maybe a month or two ago. Updated article, I know Ross wrote about it. And yeah, kind of just a deck builds momentum. If it's a good deck with cool interactions that is tough to play against, it's naturally going to pick up a following eventually.
It's like KCI. At least this combo feels like a little bit easier to follow than something like KCI 2. Like I feel like there was a little bit of a more at least of a barrier to entry with KCI that was just like you're playing so many mopey little things to make your combo work, and then like the evolution of that deck to try and have it hold its own in different ways. Imagine if that deck was a thing when Urza's Saga was printed.
Yeah, that would have been magic. Yeah. But then also,
you could say that about a lot of decks and a lot of different cards.
Other things that play a role. I mean, this is a deck that combo wins with Underworld Breach, but obviously artifacts play a big role in it. Decks with Karn Great Creator in Modern are not at their peak. Certainly, they've been trending downwards for a while now, and so there being less Karn Great Creators running around does open the door for decks that maybe not based on, but certainly that use Mox Amber and Springleaf Drum and Mishra's Bauble. Able to rise up a little bit more.
So what you're saying is we rock Karn the Great Creator.
We do. Becky and I have been known
to be Karn players.
Throw the cards around the board a little bit, yeah. But not so much lately. All right. Well, those two dress downs that were in Liam's hand, kind of all his hand consisted of 5 minutes ago, have cleared the board once and are probably going to do so again to deal with these two Urza Sagas. This worked out very well. Just had to be patient in order to find the right time. Fatal Push coming in here to take out the Shredder. Dress down takes out everything else. And, well, Anderw Elenbogen's board position just completely evaporated.
Yeah, for what feels like the second time this game, too. And technically, I don't think Liam has cast any, like, actual board wipes.
Right. I guess, let me rephrase. Anderw Elenbogen's creatures evaporated. His board is still crowded with artifacts. They just don't amount to a whole lot.
Yeah, and an unfortunate spot, too, because those card structs were pretty big.
Yeah.
Taking a look at, as you mentioned, what is still left on the board.
Well, I don't think I have ever witnessed a Breach deck win by grinding stationing the opponent out of existence. I don't know that that's too likely that Anderw can win doing that here, but he does have a lot of artifacts that he probably doesn't care too much about. And here is a Cling to Dust escape for Liam just to pick up another card.
Just slowly whittling away all the artifacts out of Andrew's graveyard. Ooh, the Wandering Emperor.
All right, so you're saying this game's not going to end by decking?
I don't know. I would not really count on it unless it was maybe Anderw. I feel like Andrew's library size is probably smaller than Liam's.
Yeah, very well. Maybe he just drew another Urza Saga. There are two dress downs in Liam's list. We know they've both been used. So his hand, he's got a few cards in hand, plus at least another Cling to Dust escape cantrip if he wants it. But Urza Saga does churn out. Well, at this point, the first construct is looking to be a 6/6 right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you just got to be hoping that your opponent doesn't somehow have another one to answer your 2 constructs.
All right, Underworld Breach, still a huge graveyard for Andrew. And if nothing else, we can see a bunch more Mishra's Bauble triggers, but there are other things in this graveyard. There's Emry, there is Teferi. Okay, there's Emry to start with. And this will turn the Mox on.
Yeah, fill up the graveyard a little bit more. An Aether Spellbomb, I believe.
All right, so Mox tapping for mana now for blue. All right, Andrew is going to go ahead and go here. So this... I assume we're just trying to build up as solid board position as possible. I didn't actually see the Thassa's Oracle get exiled by Cling to Dust. I just assumed it happened on the first one because I was looking away. Because it did mill over very early in the game, didn't it? There's not a combo win here. Although Liam is at 7. There may just be a route to...
Yeah, where's the Pyrite Spellbomb in our deck? Yeah, I don't see the Thassa's Oracle in Andrew's graveyard, so I'm imagining that it, was one of the first things to get exiled, but we're still gonna, as you mentioned, try to amass
there is a Lightning Bolt in the deck. So if find that, and he's building up mana.
We only have 2 cards left in our deck.
I believe so, yeah. Because with the Ragavan in play, the Mox can now tap for red. So this may be... Andrew,
did we somehow get this far into our deck and not find the Lightning Bolt?
Well, we can mill all the way through. We can mill, even if there's only 2 cards left, we can mill ourselves for 3. If it's not there, the Oracle is still in the
Oracle
graveyard.
is still in the graveyard.
Okay.
Andrew was just hiding it? Okay. Not obviously not really hiding it from us on coverage to be able to see with our eyes, because we went through it a few times and I thought for sure that it got exiled.
All right, let's go ahead and look at the deck lists here and see what we've got. So, okay, some perhaps fault on the commentators there, as I will admit, when Cling to Dust got cast 3 times, I assumed that the Thassa's Oracle got exiled from the graveyard. That didn't happen. And Anderw Elenbogen picks up the first game. So, as you can see here, the Jeskai Breach deck, there are builds that are blue-red or Jeskai. You can see the Jeskai here, even though the white component isn't extensive. It consists of just a single copy of Teferi Timer of our main deck, as well as various cards in the sideboard.
Yeah, kind of a big fan of actually some of these things that we're able to bring in from the sideboard. How do you feel about the Drannith Magistrate, especially now? Like, you're not having to maybe deal with as many things as previously, but it is kind of just like a nice catch-all against a lot of the kind of cascading decks that are present in the format right now.
Right. So it's good there. It's also good, and we actually saw this come up yesterday. It's good in the mirror because your opponent can't... It's not a symmetrical card, and your opponent can't play cards off of their own Underworld Breach, obviously, with that in play. So definitely a few uses for the card. And let's go ahead and look at Liam Sabor's Esper control deck. We can see that small Planeswalker packages there, Jace, Wandering Emperor, and a couple Teferi. No small...
Bigger Teferi,
bigger
specifically
Teferi,
Hero of Dominaria, because we were just talking about a different Teferi in Anderw Elenbogen's deck.
Right, and then a variety of removal, and one nice thing with these modal cards that exist nowadays, like there's card advantage obviously in this deck, but it's not just divinations or even it's Archmage's Charm, which can draw cards or do other things. Esper Charm, which can draw 2 cards or do other things. So you have a lot of versatility here.
Yeah, we're playing Kaya's Guile. This is an interesting list.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, and interested to see from this sideboard some things that might be kind of interesting are things like that Mystical Dispute. I feel like there's not nearly as much, and those Fractures likely as well. Potentially Dovin's Veto to make sure that some of those impactful artifacts can get countered as well. So interesting sideboard for this deck. And to start with the Steam Vents and Mox Amber for Andrew.
And certainly one of the advantages of playing a deck, these breach decks, where you're presenting multiple avenues of attack, is that it makes it more difficult for your opponent to sideboard. They can't just board out their counters for creature removal or board out their removal for graveyard hate, or there's no obvious thing that you can do.
Yeah, you still have to not die the Ledger Shredder,
right,
while also trying to make sure that you're getting rid of some things from the graveyard that are impactful.
Yeah, so we see here Mox into Emry for Andrew. Both players shuffling up.
Okay.
And after the fetch, Emry bites it to the Fatal Push.
Pushed deeper into the lake.
Players definitely moving through their turns here, which is good because that game 1 was not short.
No. Emry number 3. Whoa. That's a little fast there for 3 copies of Emry, Andrew.
Yeah, that is. And that's a some version of Counterspell, which you can probably identify that I can't.
It is the Mystical Archive Counterspell.
There you go.
The Japanese Mystical Archive specifically, I believe, as well. It's a nice one. I like that one a lot. I think we actually saw Liam is playing a copy of that Japanese Mystical Archive Counterspell and a copy of the English Mystical Archive Counterspell.
All right. Not a player who's worried about giving away the slightest bits of information, which is fine. Teferi comes down, cantrips, Prismatic Ending takes it out, but that nets Andrew a card. Liam, for his own self, did Esper Charm to draw 2 on the last turn, so both players moving through their decks, exchanging resources here. No one able to develop a solid position yet, which normally control versus a creature deck, you'd say favors a control deck. However, as we saw in game 1, this breach deck can, generate a solid position out of not much to start with. Knife here on Shredder, ditching Unholy Heat, which, probably isn't going to amount to a whole lot.
Yeah, amounts to saving from one of those planeswalkers should they enter the battlefield, but otherwise not going to be too big of an issue. And Prismatic Ending is going to take care of Grinding Station, which I believe should be exiled. Sacrificed itself. Okay, I was about to be like, wait a minute, but yes.
All right, and we see Kaya's Guile for the first time in the match.
Yeah, thank you. Put that one up. I haven't seen this card in a little while.
Choose 2 modes. You can pay 3 extra mana to choose all the modes, but I believe we saw their opponent sacrifices a creature and loses their graveyard. So actually, basically the ideal card for this matchup to slow down the creature assault and slow down the combo buildup.
Ooh, Teferi number 2 also here for Andrew and choosing 2+.
Yeah, it's very excellent against control decks, are really just in general decks that want to play against the opponent's turn, but Snapcaster Mage will
It's here to save the day.
Yeah, and Andrew doesn't net a free card off of this time like he did on the first one.
Well, when you have one of the best cantrips in Magic right now, I can see why you'd maybe be a little more okay with it.
I suppose. Expressive Iteration, not even really a cantrip.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad even calling it that, but look at a lot of cards and get quite a bit of card advantage for 2 mana, as Jace is going to kind of try and do the same thing as far as just presence and sheer card power is concerned.
Yeah, Jace Mind Sculptor does a lot. Liam chooses the lame mode, the draw 3 cards, put 2 back, brainstorm ability.
Oh, you wanna be fate sealing right now? What do you want?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, Jace has 4 abilities, 5 abilities. How many abilities does Jace have?
I don't
It
even
depends
know
on-
because, to be honest, I think I've only ever seen people brainstorm with it.
Yeah, it depends on if you count the +2 as 2 abilities or 1, since it's Fate Seal or Scribe, but it's just listed as 1 ability. But yeah, I guess when there's no board on the, you could justify zeroing it, and Pithing Needle does come down, so Liam won't get to choose the more exciting modes in the future. And Construct comes across, so that's something that comes up as you play, competitive Magic. These things happen where, okay, in this case, the Needle is naming Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's shut down. Do you attack and kill the Jace, or do you go across to the opponent's life total?
The Needle's naming Jace. I don't ever attack it.
Oh, see,
I'm just hoping that the Needle doesn't get answered. We've used like 2-3 pendings in this game already for Liam. I'm not worried about my Needle.
I
could be wrong.
I have concerns. If it's me, I don't know. It depends on your hand, how good your position is, what you think your opponent has access to. But with the opponent's life total being as high as it is, I am certainly tempted to finish off the Jace regardless. Okay, Becky, I'm not going to say I was right or wrong, but
yeah, that's all right.
This Jace is now reactivated.
Fair enough. I'll take that one. To be fair, I think if I also played against Liam's Esper control deck, I'd be like, "You're playing Kai's Guile? I don't know what you're playing. I'm not." I would be just like a little bit like, "All right, you came with like, by most accounts, an off-meta choice, and if you have something that gets rid of my Pithing Needle, then that's something I'm going to deal with later." But I don't even think Andrew had a moment to even choose between attacking Jace or not at this point.
Yeah, maybe things are going pretty quickly here. There's a comment from the chat about whether Liam put 2 cards back or 1 with the Jace a couple turns ago. I agree that it looked like 1. However, from our overhead perspective, if there was 2 cards there, I feel like we would have no way of knowing. And I imagine it was clear to Andrew and Liam that there was 2 there. But sometimes it is illusory based on the perspective that we're looking from.
It's also hard to tell with like the dark sleeves. They end up like kind of looking all together at times. We have an omnipotent view, but sometimes it does not feel that way.
All right, Breach comes in. Andrew will do as much as he can with this. Here's Teferi.
Yeah, get rid of the spirit. Yeah, okay. I was about to be like, Breach.
Right.
Thoughtseize. Another Breach, Ragavan, Urza Saga, Spirebluff Canal for Andrew. Ooh. The card in hand for Liam and Otawara?
I haven't spotted it myself. I don't know. But with the Jace, the cards in hand aren't so representative of what Liam has access to.
Very fair.
Breach is selected. No surprise there.
Take down Teferi with that Snapcaster Mage attack. Andrew's life total will stay safe at 12 for now. Dash Ragavan. Let's go swinging. Tar Pit activated.
Yep, and the trade happens. Okay, so that's nice for Liam to be able to defend the Jace there. I mean, Tar Pit's a nice card, but trading off Ragavan there is, I'm sure he's thrilled to do, and Andrew actually has another one. So this looks like it's going to come down to, well, at least it's going to be significant. Can Liam find copies of Dress Down like in game 1? Because these Urza Sagas are ready to roll.
Who knows? I guess the dress downs did enough work in game 1, you maybe don't take them out.
Yeah,
Bring
I mean, it's just so strong against Urza Saga. That's
Yeah.
okay. It looks like here, Liam, while drawing cards, may have seen an extra card here, so players will straighten this out. Generally, the fix is when you're drawing cards and you see if the top card knocks off or flips over or something, you just randomize back in and then move on, and then 2 cards will be put back with Jace.
Pending to take care of Ragavan. And let's go Charming.
All right, Esper Charm mode. Anderw Elenbogen checks to make sure it actually can do that. So let's go ahead and bring it up again. The modes: draw 2, discard 2, destroy an enchantment.
What a good card.
Yeah.
There's a lot of important enchantments in the format right now, so that's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly significant.
How does Anderw Elenbogen's deck keep getting so tiny?
It,
I guess like that's just what this deck does, but
Yeah.
sometimes I'm always surprised when you start to see those players shuffle and it's like, oh my gosh, where did all your cards go? And now that there's no Yorion, we're not watching people try to shuffle 80 card decks.
Ooh, another Snapcaster Mage for a fatal push. Ian's last card in hand, but this is pretty significant as Andrew's offense falls apart and Jace still stands looming over the battlefield. Removes the last construct, and well, I speculated that Liam would want to draw some dress downs to deal with these double Urza Saga. He didn't draw one, but he didn't have any trouble dealing with them anyway.
Yeah. Expressive Iteration, gonna look at a lot of cards for a turn and end up casting 2 Mishra's Bauble. Take a look at the top of Liam's deck and Andrew's own deck, and then get to draw 2. Not too bad. Little turn to refill. I mean, it's difficult when you're staring down the Snapcaster Mage and Jace, but
Oh, indeed. Well, there you go. Otawara to believe that costs 4. Yeah. So Liam may have been thinking for a moment that he has a Jace that might count as far as cost reduction because it's legendary, but it's actually legendary creatures that reduce the cost. Even so, it does rescue it. And really, it's only fair that Liam spends some resources to rescue that Jace, because that Jace has done a lot of work this game for Liam.
And I think it's gonna still have a lot to do. Considering that Andrew is definitely on the back foot and getting beat down by this Snapcaster Mage here.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jace back in. Fate Seal. Nice. Ragavan goes to the bottom.
Where tear the draw for turn? Bauble, draw a card, and it's Thoracle.
Yeah, and Andrew's like, you know what? These have been 2 lengthy games. Let's just go ahead and go to the third one, try and have time to get it done with. Whatever. With limited time, I know. Maybe we'll see if we can find out and get an update on how much time is left in the round for these players. But Andrew's more likely to win a time compressed game than Liam is.
I agree.
With the combo finish available. I mean, Planeswalkers can try and end things fairly quickly, but even like Jace racing to a game win, I have had plenty of experience with this in Legacy. It still takes a while. Even as fast as you want to Fate Seal every single turn, it still takes a while.
Yeah, and then like you're looking at Liam's deck, and we saw it. There's not even like a Baneslayer in the sideboard for you to even just try to like go swinging across the table with an Angel. That's not an option that's available. So it really is relying on just trying to play at a decent pace in a lot of these games, and we're gonna see if Andrew play draw dependent sideboarded like 1 more card. So we're gonna see a very quick shuffle up from both of our players. Liam already having presented, considering that there's only 5 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, 5 minutes, not okay. Okay, so there is a time extension. So
Gotcha.
let's get that number. So okay, now it may be okay. It's about 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right, so that's enough time. 5, yeah, 5, which we were told initially. That's pretty dicey for Liam to even be able to win a game. But 10 minutes, Jace can win a game. 10 minutes, Tarpik can win a game. Snapcaster Mage.
I can't think of the last time I would have thought 10 minutes Tarpik can win a game felt like a realistic statement.
Okay, I'm trying to be optimistic about the
Okay.
role players to win the game here. Give me a break.
You know, that's fair. All right. Thoughtseize is going to be the start, though, for Liam. And take a look at some of the things in hand and some of the things drawn off of those Mishra's baubles that were the start for Andrew.
Kudos to these players, though. Both these players have, I mean, it's not uncommon when you're playing a long match of Magic and then someone lets you know, oh, there's 5 minutes left or 10 minutes left. And the player's like, oh, we need to start playing faster now. These players have been playing fast from the jump in game
Yeah.
one. And given themselves where a lot of people might be out of time now if they've been playing these matches with these draws. These players still have 10 minutes left to try and get this done.
Yeah, and Ledger Shredder also on board very quickly, already attacking for 2. And that's got to be a pretty okay place in Anderw Elenbogen's mind. Sure, you're going to have this backup plan of comboing, but hey, these Ledger Shredders do damage, and you got to try to not die to them still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not in the deck for nothing. I mean, there are. Let's see if we can get a count on Supreme Verdicts in Liam's deck. It looks like 1 plus 1 in the sideboard if it came in, which I would say there's no guarantee it actually did. So, yeah, a flock of Ledger Shredders. Not a bad way for Andrew to start this game.
Flock. Give Joe props for that one. I like it. A flock of Ledger Shredders.
And a Saga, which is tagged. Now this can actually. Oh, this was the discard. Okay. So the last Ledger Shredder, and then Teferi discard, which is nice for Liam. He made that decision instantly, and the Esper Charm does have as we know, the ability to kill an enchantment, but goes for the cards in hand, which is understandable.
Mm-hmm. And Kaya's Guile then takes care of a Ledger Shredder and Graveyard. So only one. This original Ledger Shredder remains the sole remainder of its flock. I can try and pull out my nature documentary voice. Talk about all the Ledger Shredders have died. This sole remaining Ledger Shredder, the only one remaining of its kind.
All right. Yeah. Nat Geo's looking for a replacement. Becky's available.
Yeah, exactly. Hit me up. My DM's open for Nat Geo.
All right. Urza Saga makes another construct. Construct on the way out finds a Mishra's Bauble. And there's a dress down again to wipe out the constructs.
They do stay in. Hey, Liam's at 10. This Ledger Shredder still is not messing around.
It's doing work here.
Archmage's Charm. And Dress Down bites it. Oh, we got so many cards in hand, but it looks like a lot of them are lands, but a Snapcaster Mage is not too bad here.
Yep. All right. Andrew's going to get a Connive. I guess that's one thing you get from playing at Snapcaster Mages. Connive is guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
And a Bauble gets pitched. So Andrew's actually got real cards in hand.
Mm-hmm. Let's hope that they're real enough to save Andrew in this game. Unholy Heat takes care of Snapcaster Mage, and we're dashing.
Oh.
Whoa.
Fairy Hero would be great, but that's a lot of mana.
Yeah, that's too rich for Andrew's blood, at least as far as mana is concerned right now. Ooh.
Oh, there's the Jace again.
A Rutrow.
Ooh, that was another Ragavan, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the bottom when there's already one in Andrew's hand. It's understandable. Liam doesn't want to play against recurring. Yeah, if he's got counters for one, don't want to play against another one. Ooh.
Spell Pierce. Mystical Dispute. Oh my, the counter war.
Yes, indeed. Liam was like, nope. Jace will remain.
Ragavan wouldn't even finish.
I know.
Jace.
Ragavan wasn't even going to threaten Jace, but Liam's trying to win this game. He knows time is of the essence. So is Jace going to brainstorm, or is it just going up? I have probably played as many of these scenarios as anyone on Earth, although granted it was a different format. Jace races to victory. Do you Fate Seal? Do you Scry? Fate Seal once. Andrew fetches immediately. Is it fun scenarios? Do you Fate Seal and there's a great card, you leave it anyway, just assuming Andrew will break the fetch land? Or does he leave it, get suckered into drawing the...
I don't know.
Well, Emry. All right, not too bad, not too
Oh.
bad.
No artifacts milled.
Whoa.
Underworld Breach.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, now there's some gas in the graveyard off of that Emry. Andrew, take a breath. Think this through. We got to figure out the optimal way to go. This is probably your best chance to win this game.
I was about to say, I don't know if you've met Anderw Elenbogen, but he definitely isn't taking a breath here.
No grinding station, so ability to recur this Mox Amber is limited.
Yeah, it looked like he was maybe trying to recur Ledger Shredder. Oh, instead goes for the Unholy Heat. Unfortunately, though, that doesn't finish Jace off even still.
Wow. It's
We have
tough.
another?
It's tough for Unholy Heat to not kill a Planeswalker.
Yeah. Oh, do we have another Unholy Heat? Or are we just going... Oh, Ragavan!
No, are we dashing Ragavan instead of Unholy Heating again? Because there's...
Yeah, we could just escape Unholy Heat again, yeah. But maybe we're trying to also get a treasure. We're trying to really still make the most out of this Underworld Breach turn.
Yeah. So now there's a pause. Okay, I'm going to suggest that what might have happened there was that the Unholy Heat was still on the table because it had been cast on the Jace. And then Andrew went back to the graveyard, didn't realize the Unholy Heat was still available. Yeah, that's what happened. He would have recast, he's saying he would have recast the Unholy Heat, but he didn't realize it was there because it was actually still on the board. And so he cast the Ragavan instead. I'm not sure that that's what happened, but I think it might be.
Okay. I'm in for it. I think the other, I was about to say the other thing I think it might be is if you can dash to escape Ragavan.
Oh, okay.
If that's a legal play. Well, we have this Unholy Heat anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
But today we all learned you cannot escape
so
dash.
You cannot, you cannot escape dash.
You can only escape at a normal pace, not a dashing one.
All right, so then Unholy Heat does finish off the Jace after all, which certainly reduces Liam's chances of winning the game.
But we also don't have anything on the board now for Andrew, and we're just passing with nothing but 4 lands and a Mox Amber in play.
All right.
Oh, and the Cling to Dust is going.
Yeah, takes out Breach.
This doesn't really like save Liam in this game, but
no, but it gives more ammo, more cards. So now it's a matter of, I mean, Liam is at 7, and can Andrew find a way to do the remaining damage? Because it's a whole flood of new cards for Liam here.
Holy smokes! Yeah, 2 Archmage's Charms, so 4 cards, a full grip. Making sure that we are at 7 cards. Put all those 2 pairs together.
All right, Andrew's 16. I think there's 2 Kaya's Guiles in hand. Let's go. Get some spirits out there.
Yeah, we gotta start making this go.
Find some creeping tar pits.
Oh, you're right. The creeping tar pit.
There are 2 in there, I think.
Flashing back or escaping, excuse me, not flashing back, cling to dust. Turn 0. All right, that's why we saw the pace go.
Mm-hmm. All right, turn 0. Well, this is still Andrew's end step, I believe. So Liam's going to have this in 2 more turns. I think we can pretty confidently say that Liam cannot win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Can Andrew? I mean, several Ragavans are gone.
Yeah.
There is a breach that was drawn for the turn, but there's not much of a graveyard right now.
No, I think it is, in fact, like just the pending. We
Mhm.
could. I think we needed like a Ledger Shredder connive that turn. I don't even know how many are left.
Lightning Bolt with. I'm surprised Andrew didn't fetch there just to thin the deck, and I mean he's going to need the card in the graveyard anyway. I guess he knows the graveyard's not long for this world, so it doesn't matter. I mean, this may be. Well, okay, it's Fairy Hero. That's great and everything.
Would have been nice a few turns ago to really lock your opponent out of the game, but
maybe Ian will get a game loss for getting to discard the hand size. Nope. Okay. That's it. All right.
All right.
All right. We're coming back to the booth, but don't go anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're sticking around. We're going to go straight into round number 5. Becky, Bell, and Joe Set, welcome. Thanks for being here this afternoon with us. Taking over for Anurag and Julian, who were on the morning shift today. But Becky, all right. Now we have our chance to take our breath.
Not really, though. We have to go like right into the next round.
Oh,
no
come
breaths
on.
for us.
The players, the pairings being posted doesn't mean the round's going to start right away. You know how these things go. You have to check in with your friends, figure out on your phone or the pairings board where you're supposed to go sit down, run to the bathroom. We've got like 4 minutes probably. So let's
accurate though.
Yeah. So let's take a moment. We'll go through some of the Nerd Rage schedule coming up, the leaderboard, and then we'll make our way into the next round.